So, Saul, who is the most influential person in your career, and what did they teach you that you still use today?
I think that would have to be my father. I think from my father I learned tolerance, I learned work ethic, and I learned the importance of family. I think those are the most important things I learned from him.
What is a belief or principle you've never compromised on, even when it was difficult?
Never compromise on your word. The only thing you have in life is your word. It's rooted in integrity, and if you go back on once you go back on your word, then people don't trust you. You're not believable. So always, once you give your word, you pretty much live and die by that. Even in business, where if I've made a mistake and I've committed to something and it costs us money, I'll go back and write the credit because I've made a commitment. So it's promise made, promise kept.
What part of your job brings you the most fulfillment today, and how has that changed over time?
Without question, I think that the one part of my job that has given me the most amount of fulfillment has to be the success of other people. People being able to buy their first homes, some more people having kids, able to, should they choose to put them in private school, they're able to afford the tuition, again, buying a home, and for people who aren't married, just bettering their lifestyle and stuff. That's where I get my biggest rush out of watching people do better and succeed.
What do people misunderstand most about what it takes to rise into senior leadership?
Oof. Let's see. It's not easy. You make very, very difficult decisions that impact people's lives and stuff, and I think that you impact a lot of people with decisions that you make. So I think that's probably the most misunderstood, the significance of the role and the impact that you can have on people's lives. So you have to be very, very careful on the decisions that you make. So that's pretty much it.
What keeps you motivated now after everything you've achieved?
I think it's the same. You know what? I always say I don't got to go to work. I get to go to work. I've been doing this now for 43 years, and I enjoy it today just as much as I did 42 years ago. And I always say that if the good Lord said you could live another 42 years and sign up for that, I would sign that tomorrow. Again, I just get a real kick out of watching people do well, and that's what keeps me gassed up and charged.
What are you still learning about yourself as a leader?
That you can't, probably the most difficult thing is you can't make everybody happy. You make decisions that are going to be good for some people and not so good for the other people. And you have to make those decisions looking at its entirety. So I may upset a group of 10 people, but it will benefit the other 1,000 colleagues that we have in the region. So it's a balancing act that there's between your heart and your head, and you've got to have the courage to make some difficult decisions and such. And they should never they're never easy. And if it's ever easy to let people go, one, it shouldn't come as a surprise to people. And if it does, you haven't done your job. And if it's ever easy to let go of people, then it's time to find another career.
What leadership lesson did you have to learn the hard way?
That it takes, once you get the position, authority doesn't come with that position. It's earned. I think when I became a vice president, I thought I was going to change the world. I started questioning what this person does and that person does, and I was very blessed to work with a CFO back in the day, and who called me into his office, closed the door, and said, Saul, let me, and he was an older gentleman, and he said, I know you want to change everything, but you don't know what everybody does. You got to take a step back, learn what people do before you take action. So I think that was one of the biggest lessons I learned: patience. Not everybody is going to do what you want them to do. They're going to do what they do. So there's this balancing act. And if you're type A personality, you want to change the world, you can't. So you got to be really, really patient and tolerant.
Last question.
Okay.
What's one thing you hope people will say about your leadership long after you're gone?
So, I think about that often, is what am I going to leave behind, the impact that I've had on people. And I hope that through working with me and together, that they come out of this better than, they leave better than they came in. And I think Nick Saban once said, the trophies don't matter, all the accolades don't matter. The real question you have to ask yourself is, will I be missed when I'm gone? And I flipped that around. I don't know if I'll be missed when I'm gone, but I know one thing, that when I'm gone, I will certainly miss the people that I was blessed to work with. So that's it.